I cry at nothing, and cry most of the time. Of course, I don't when John is here, or anybody else, but when I'm alone.
What is it?
Nothing. I'm quite alright.
You most certainly are not. Come now. What's this fuss about?
No, really, I am alright. It must be the dust. It got into my eyes.
Then why not open the window?
I must not have thought about that. I'm sorry.
No, there's nothing to be sorry about. Just use that beautiful brain of yours from time to time. Now I must tend to our guests. Please, take care of yourself, dear.
I'm alone a good deal now. John is kept in town very often by serious cases, and Jenny is good and lets me alone when I want her to. So I walk a little in the garden or down that lovely lane, sit on the dock, and lie down up here a good deal. I'm getting quite fond of the room in spite of the wallpaper. Perhaps it is because of the wallpaper. It dwells in my mind so. I start, we'll say, at the bottom, down in the corner over there where it has not been touched, and I determine for the 1000th time that I will follow that pointless pattern to some sort of a conclusion, but it makes me tired to follow it. I think I'll take a nap, I guess. I don't know why I should write this. I don't want to. I don't feel able. And I know John would think it absurd, but I must say what I feel and think in some way. It is such a relief. But the effort is getting to be greater than the relief. Half the time now I am awfully lazy and lie down ever so much. John says I mustn't lose my strength and has me take cod liver oil and lots of tonics and things, to say nothing of ale and wine and rare meat. Dear John, he loves me dearly and hates to have me sick. I tried to have a real earnest, reasonable talk with him the other day.
John. Well, I was wondering, I'd like to make a visit to Cousin Henry and Julia.
No.
And why not?
You're not able.
And how would you know? You're never around anymore anyway.
Because, dear, where I am not here, Jenny is, and she tells me every single little thing that you do and do not do. Now, why are you angry? You must not let your fancies run away with you, for you'll neglect proper self-control. Now, you are not able, nor would you be able, to stand it once you arrive there.
Yes, of course. I understand.
Don't cry. I simply say these things to help you. You are my darling, and comfort, and all I have. But no one but yourself can help you out of it. You must use your self-control and not let any silly fancies run away with you. You must take care of yourself, for my sake.
There's one comfort. The baby is well and happy, and does not have to occupy this room with a horrid wallpaper. I never thought of it before, but it is lucky that John kept me here after all. I can stand it so much easier than a baby, you see. Of course, I never mention it to them anymore. I am too wise, but I keep watch of it all the same. There are things in that paper that no one knows but me, or ever will. Behind that outside pattern the dim shapes get clearer every day. It's always the same shape, only very numerous. And it is like a woman stooping and creeping about behind the pattern. I don't like it a bit. I begin to think, I wish John would take me away from here.
What is it, little girl? Don't go walking around like that at night. You'll get cold.
John, I wish you would take me away. I really doubt that I'm gaining here much, if at all.
Why, darling? Our lease will be up in 3 weeks, and I can't see how to leave before. The repairs are not done at home, and I cannot possibly leave town just now. Of course, if you were in danger, I could and would. But you really are better, dear, whether you can see it or not. I am a doctor, dear, and I know. You're gaining flesh and color. Your appetite is better. I really feel much easier about you.
Don't weigh a bit more, nor as much. And my appetite may be better in the evening when you are here, but in the morning when you are away, it's worse.
Bless her little heart. She shall be as sick as she pleases. But now, Let's improve on the shining hours by going to sleep and talk about it in the morning.
And you won't go away?
Why? How can I, dear? It is only 3 weeks more, and then we will take a nice trip of a few days while Jenny is getting the house ready. Really, dear, you are better.
Better in body, perhaps.
My darling, I beg of you, please, for all our sakes, do not ever let an idea like that enter your mind. There is nothing so dangerous, so fascinating to a temperament like yours. It is a false and foolish fancy. Can you trust me as a physician when I tell you so? Good night.
On a pattern like this, by daylight, there is a lack of sequence, a defiance of law that is a constant irritant to a normal mind. The color is hideous enough and unreliable enough and infuriating enough, but the pattern is torturing. You think you have mastered it, but just as you get well underway in following, it turns a back somersault, and there you are. It slaps you in the face, knocks you down, and tramples upon you. It's like a bad dream. The outside pattern is a florid arabesque, reminding one of fungus. If you can imagine a toadstool in joints, an interminable string of toadstools, budding and sprouting in endless convulsions, wait, that is something like it. That is, sometimes. There is one marked peculiarity about this paper, a thing nobody seems to notice but myself, and that is that it changes as the light changes. When the sun shoots in through the east window, I always watch for the first long, straight ray. It changes so quickly that I never can quite believe it. That is why I watch it always. By moonlight, the moon shines in all night when there is a moon. I wouldn't know if it was the same paper. At night, in any kind of light, in twilight, candlelight, lamplight, and worst of all, by moonlight, it becomes bars. The outside pattern, I mean, and the woman behind it as plain as can be. I didn't realize for a long time what the thing was that showed behind that dim sub-pattern, but now I'm quite sure it is a woman. By daylight she is subdued, quiet. I fancy it is the pattern that keeps her so still. It is so puzzling. It keeps me quiet by the hour. I lie down ever so much now. John says it is good for me, and I sleep all I can. Indeed, he started the habit by making me lie down for an hour after each meal. It is a very bad habit, I am convinced, for you see, I don't sleep. And that cultivates deceit, for I don't tell them I'm awake. The fact is, I'm getting a little afraid of John. He seems very quiet and queer sometimes, and even Jenny has an inexplicable look. It strikes me occasionally, just as a scientific hypothesis, that perhaps it is the paper. I have watched John when he did not know I was looking, and come into the room suddenly on the most innocent excuses, and I've caught him several times looking at the paper. And Jenny, too.
What are you doing with my wallpaper?
Why did you scare me so? I was just looking at it. It stains everything it touches. I found yellow smooches all over your and John's clothing. I do wish you two would be more careful. Those stains are quite stubborn to get out.